Hello, friends, family, total strangers. Today's video is going to be on why I stay in Arizona in the winter. So this is my second winter in Arizona. My first winter that I was living in a van, I was actually in Southeast Asia for most of it. So yeah, this is my second winter in Arizona. And it's awesome. This is a great place to spend a winter if you're living nomadic. I think there's several good reasons that really separate Arizona from everywhere else. You know, I would say reason number one, the most important thing about Arizona that really separates it from other warmer locations is the amount of free camping. There is so much BLM land here, so much national forest land. There's just a complete abundance of free camping. And, you know, a lot of other places, the free camping kind of funnels a lot of people in. And there's definitely places like that here in Arizona too, but where I am right now, there is nobody within my view shed. There is nobody close to me. And I've got amazing views. And yeah, there is nobody around here. So yeah, reason number one is the amount of free public land that you can stay on, free campsites. The second thing that I love about Arizona is your ability to change elevation and scenery. You know, if you're in Florida for the wintertime, pretty much everywhere in Florida looks somewhat similar. You know, there are some differences, but it's all flat. It's all very similar to each other. All the elevation, the highest point in Florida is like 280 feet or something. So, you know, Texas, there is some higher elevation places in Texas, but it's such a huge state. You know, large portions of it are flat, and you can't really change your elevation easily. You know, California you can, New Mexico you can, but Arizona is amazing for, you know, when it's colder everywhere else, you just go to the lower elevations like Quartzsite, and well, I don't go to Quartzsite. I'm not a big fan of that area, but Lake Havasu, and there's other places you can go. But then the thing that I love about Arizona is that when it warms up, you can easily go up into the pine forests and up into the mountains, and you know, up to Sedona, where you have this amazing red rock scenery. So it's really the diversity of scenery you have access to in the winter is, I think, what really sets Arizona apart as a winter destination. You know, I think people see a lot of YouTubers and I think a lot of YouTubers and a lot of nomads in general just kind of stick to that Colorado River corridor, you know, Lake Havasu and Parker and Quartzsite and Ehrenberg and down to Yuma. And they mostly just stick to that, but there's so much more in the state that you can go see that's even still at lower elevation. Why, Arizona, WHY. It's a name of a town. It's not just a question. Um, that's down near Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, which is where I was last weekend. There's free camping there. It's got it's right next to the monument, so you can take day trips into the monument, which is beautiful. And I'm gonna show a couple other hikes from that later on in the video. And it's also low elevation like that. Roosevelt Lake over on the other side of Phoenix, on the east from Phoenix. There's lots of BLM land over there. It's beautiful, and there's not huge crowds of people over there, and it's also low elevation. Wickenburg, Arizona, is low elevation. It's under 2,000 feet. And so there's all these different places you can go. You don't just have to stay in that quartzite corridor, that Colorado River corridor. You can branch out, and that's when it gets like cold, when it's, highs in the 50s and 60s and lows in the 20s and 30s. You can go into those lower elevations. But once it gets warmer again, you can easily go up to some of my favorite areas are Pine, Arizona, which I was just at yesterday. I camped up there the night before last. And it's beautiful. It's up in the trees. There's great hikes from there. So Pine is awesome. Where I am right now is also one of my favorite places. This is south and a little west of Payson, Arizona. So I'm currently camped kind of in the junipers. I'm at about 4,000 feet right now. I camped at 5,400 feet last night in Pine, and it was a little chilly. It frosted overnight, so I decided to move a little lower tonight and enjoy my morning a little more. And it's toasty and beautiful right now. So I love Pine. I love Payson, where I am, out south of Payson right now. I really love southern, especially southeastern Arizona. The Chiricahua Mountains, there's great camping in there. Even down in the lowlands, it's not really desert there, it's more grasslands. There's a couple of good spots out there to camp, which is beautiful. That's at about 4,000 feet. The Dragoon Mountains, which are also the places to camp, are at about 4,000 feet. Amazing. Like, there's so many different places to go and so much diversity. I wish I had more footage to show from the different places, but since I make my videos on my phone, I pretty much have to delete as I go. So I don't have footage from all the different places I've been here in Arizona. But this is, for spending the winter, Arizona is about as good as you can get for weather, for diversity of scenery, and for being able to adjust to the weather, especially as you're getting into the shoulder season into March and April. You can go up in elevation to get cooler temperatures once it starts getting hot down here. But so I'm going to clip to some footage here from last weekend. I went to Oregon Pipe Cactus National Monument, and I showed a couple of hikes that I did last week, and I'm going to show 2 other hikes that I also did. So let me cut you over to that footage. You are here. So the Park Service does a pretty cool thing. They do a shuttle from the campground. You have to sign up for it the day before, and it's only a couple days a week, I think Monday and Thursday right now. And it leaves at 8:30 in the morning, and they drop you off at the Red Tanks trailhead, and you can hike back to the campground. It's about 6.7 miles, but you can do, I'm going to add a little couple things on there, and I'll probably end up hiking about 10 miles. But it's awesome because you can do it one way now. You don't have to do an out and back. So these are the Red Tanks. interesting. There are a ton of birds here, but I can never seem to get any of them on film. I just hear their calls and see them flit by every now and again. I am definitely not the bird photographer that my brother Tony is. There's a woodpecker over there somewhere. I just heard him. There's a tree growing in the middle of this organ pipe cactus. Weird. This is Victoria Mine. This is the Bull Pasture Trail. The wildflowers on this one are pretty awesome too. I think I'm heading that way, and I think I hear running water in the canyon. So sweet. Wow, that's pretty sweet. I had to bushwhack to get to this view of the waterfall, but yeah, I don't know if you can get down to it. I'll see what I can do, but I don't think there's a good path down. Yeah, I think this is about as close as I'm going to get. I might be able to get down there, but I'm just going to call this good enough. Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. This is a good enough view right here. Pretty awesome. This was my first time ever using trekking poles. I got them a couple weeks ago and just kept forgetting that I had them. So yeah, I remembered them for this hike, so they worked out pretty good. I mainly got them to try to take some of the punishment off my knees coming up and down these steep hikes, and yeah, they worked great for that. My knees feel, I think, much better than they would have. So yeah, so Oregon pipe cactus is awesome, and the access town to it, there's a town just outside of the park, and there's some BLM camping just outside of it as well. It's Y, Arizona. Yeah, it's great. So I did want to mention, I forgot to mention Prescott, and the mountains around Prescott are great when the weather gets a little warmer. I was able to go there in January and camp, and it was awesome. So yeah, Prescott is up in the pines. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much my video. Yeah, so for winter locations, I give Arizona an A+. Yeah, I don't really think you can get better than this for weather, for amount of free camping, and for diversity of scenery. It's not just desert. Arizona is not just desert. It's a beautiful area. I didn't even talk about the Mogollon Rim, which is right near where I am. The hike that I did yesterday, you could see that. You could see the rim, but I'll have that in next week's footage. But yeah, that's pretty much my video. So I'm going to try to get to the other states in future winters, and I'll talk about those when I get there. But yeah, thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Thanks a bunch. It's a lot easier to video these guys when you have a bird feeder.